Hello and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings, the Let's Play Binder near Rambler. Right then, basically last time we introduced ourselves to the world of these dragon-like creatures by going through a portal. We went through with somebody who went ahead of us, and then we're supposed to be swapping information from our side for generators, supposedly to help solve an energy crisis for our side from them. And basically it's been a bit surreal, I must say. The dragons sort of behave pretty much like humans. They just look like dragons, pretty much. They have cafes, they have apartments, a police force, bodyguards, etc, etc. So yeah, all interesting stuff. And our colleague Reza, I believe that's his name, is a little bit paranoid about how things are. He seems to think that that everything's not quite as it seems. And then at the end of the last video, we had a bit of a confrontation with his bodyguard. I think it was called Maverick or something like that, I forget. And he shot him. And I decided to be a complete pussy pants and just go, "Oh, it was him, he shot him, he did it, he did everything, he shot the dragon, it's not my fault." And luckily we didn't get killed. So, unfortunately, yeah, Reza's gone and shot him, taken, I believe, the generator package with him and just ran off. So we have no idea where he is. And now we're back in our apartment, we're waking up, and we have questions. So yeah, before we do carry on though, I was reading some of the comments in the last video as well, and yeah, this game has multiple endings, which is cool, and I'll probably only play it the once just to get the one ending. It's the multiple ending games, I just tend to play the once through, primarily because it's your story, you know, it's your version of how things went, and just going back over to get the other endings is not really my cup of tea. I kind of just think, no, go watch somebody else's LP, get their ending, you know, if you want to play the game yourself, you know, it's that kind of thing. But I don't think anybody will mind that so much. But yeah, but you can, even though I was joking about it last time, you can have sex with dragons. And apparently I was given a couple of hints as to two of the female dragons we've come across so far about what they like and what you need to do in order to get laid with them. So yes, apparently you can sleep with dragons. Because, you know, fan fiction, yo. So yeah, so we'll see where that goes. But anyway, point being is I'm just going to carry on playing it and just play it as I want to. And we'll see. So let's carry on then. Right. The next day I awoke with many questions lingering in my head, like how am I going to have sex with a dragon? I haven't worked that bit out yet. I considered calling someone from the police department to ask about Reza and Maverick, but in the end I decided against doing so, as I was sure they would contact me if they had anything to tell me. Okay. I knew it was some no use worrying about it for now, so I settled for starting another book. Bing bong! Didn't take very long though before the doorbell rang. In fact, I didn't even get a chance to start the book or even get it off the shelf, because the moment I thought I'd do that, the doorbell rang. Did Bryce the chief of police take it upon himself to escort me today? No, he's probably going to take us in for interrogation. Oh, it's you again. Are you surprised? No, but I guess it means bad news. Afraid so. How are you holding up? Better than yesterday, that's for sure. Let's go for a walk then, shall we? Sure. This just reeks of ambush and assassination, but whatever's. This time I was taking along a different route than yesterday, and I was quite sure there was more to this than just taking a walk. Oh gee, Neo, you think, you dumbass. I'll just go on ahead and guess you didn't find Reza. Yeah, we hoped he'd come back on his own by now. Do you have any idea where he might be? Maybe he mentioned some sort of place in particular that holds some meaning to him. No, not really. We didn't get a chance to talk much at all yesterday before. Oh, that's that too. I have no idea why Reza would have done anything like that. I had the impression that they weren't very fond of each other, but this... How is he, by the way? Oh, well, Maverick's doing fine, but there's plenty of blame to go around. You're right, they didn't particularly like each other. Yeah, but there's no excuse to just shoot someone unless, you know, there's like a proper intention for it or whatever. In his statement, Maverick says he suspected Reza of planning some sort of attack. Do you know anything about that? Well, no, he only told me something was going to happen, not that he was planning anything. At least, that was the impression I got. He's suspecting you too, by the way, that you both planned this all from the beginning. No, that wouldn't make sense. Actually, none of this is making any sense. Why would we go through all the lengths of our agreement and jeopardize it by doing something like this? You even already have our PDAs, and we don't have much to show for it yet. If we had any nefarious plans, this wouldn't have been a very good idea. You have a good point, Neo. Despite your stupid voice, you're smarter than you look. I believe you, but from our side we have only Maverick's word on the whole matter. After all, he was the one who spent the most time with Reza since he arrived here. But even then, he didn't really have any reason to follow you yesterday, and his behaviour was completely out of line. I'm just glad you came out fine. You've been very sympathetic towards me. I'm wondering if there is like an ulterior motive here. I mean, I've actually been told that there is. Some of my suspicions was correct in the last video. Quite a lot of them are wrong, which is fine. I like that. I like guessing, trying to, you know, come up with predictions. But I don't mind if they're wrong or not. It's great. But we'll see. I can't even remember what I predicted in the last video. That's how bad it is. Well, how bad I am anyway. But anyway. If it wasn't on mandatory sick leave, he would be suspended right now. We'll have to wait until this whole thing is over before we decide what to do with him. I can assure you this won't be taken lightly. Well, it's very kind of you to be sort of balanced on both sides, but... Maybe we both acted in the heat of the moment. Where I come from, this kind of attack on a diplomat could be classified as an act of war, punishable by death. Oh, I hope so. I'll just... make a silly suggestion. Maybe they both acted in the heat of the moment, you know. There was a lot of gay vibes going on. We were all very hot under the collar. Maybe. We still got quite a lot on our hands now, though. We have a wounded dragon and a missing human. This could lead to a diplomatic crisis. Maybe Reza will show up soon and we can get all of this behind us. I hope so too. I really wouldn't want to jeopardize everything over this unfortunate incident. Yeah, how about we both just keep quiet about this whole thing for now? After all, I don't think any of us wants our people panicking about this already, right? I merely nodded in agreement. Fair enough. Well, you know, I'm kind of thinking I'm getting this taken light. I'm not being, you know, I'd have thought I'd have been in shit trouble by now. But no, they're taking it quite lightly. Well, I say lightly, they're taking it quite, balanced, I guess. But oh well. Eventually, we arrived at the police station. Oh, we were going to the police station. Oh, okay. Where the chief took my formal statement in regards to yesterday's events. He asked me about Reza and Maverick, too. Not that I knew much of anything that preceded yesterday's events, or the mysterious catastrophe Reza had mentioned. Afterwards, he thanked me and left to file my statements while I sat by his table, waiting and listening to the goings-on of this small, provincial town police department. When he returned, he was approached by someone who seemed to have urgent news. A lot of talking between the two ensued that I couldn't make out from my position. This went on for a bit, until Bryce returned to me. Afraid I have more bad news for you. Reza has now officially become a murder suspect. Murder? We're headed to the crime scene and hoped you'd come with us. Me? A crime scene? I don't really know much about forensics. I'm only a biologist and a sociologist. Oh, wait. It's just that you're the only link to Reza we have. Consider what he said would happen to us. It's all in our interest that we find him as soon as possible. If he has anything to do with it, you might be able to help us find him. Your cooperation will certainly be appreciated. It would be a nice gesture to show us that you're trustworthy in the eyes of those who might think otherwise, after what happened yesterday. Will you help us? I respectfully decline to say I will not help you, so I will help you. I suppose I don't really have much of a choice here, but you're right. Got to find Reza, and if that's what it takes, I'll do it. In no way have I got a selfish intention to bone a dragon. Very well, let us go then. On our way to the crime scene, some very creepy, ominous music was playing in the background. It was very annoying, but also kind of cool. He tried to prepare me for what would come. I had studied biology, so I was familiar with the sight of dead animals. Okay. Asking myself, well, I suppose that makes sense. Asking myself how similar this would be, I wondered if my reaction would be any different if it wasn't a dragon, but a human corpse I would be seeing. When we arrived, we were met by Sebastian, who gave us an overview of the whole situation. This morning, the victim was found by delivery flyer for a restaurant. Blood loss from multiple wounds are the likely cause of death. Forensics were already here, so feel free to poke around. A few paces in front of us, the unfortunate victim lay on the ground, covered by a sheet that concealed the body, but not the large red stain beneath. We approached, while Sebastian went off to deter any curious onlookers. I know it won't be pretty, and I'm sorry for putting you through this, but you know what's at stake here. Just remember what I told you, and you should be fine. And no touching the body, you necrophiliac. Okay, I'm sorry. Alright. Are you ready? I'm ready. I guess so. I'll just be polite. Oh, it's a dragon. Ooh! Do we recognise it? I think I recognise this dragon. I recognise it, but I don't know which one it is. Or is it not? I don't know. I remember seeing a green dragon. My memory could be false. Alright, forget it. Let's just see what happens. What do you think? Well, he's definitely dead. Yeah, R.I.P. Zing! Oh, wow. Let's just say this will be your test, and tell me what you can deduce from what you see. Give it your best shot. I'm not a fucking detective here. Oh, shit, okay. 2 wings, 2 legs, just like the waitress in the cafe. About as big as a human, lengthwise, if not slightly taller. The wingspan would certainly look impressive at that size. Interesting. There's a lot of cuts. The wounds are kind of hard to miss. True, but what are they telling you? Inflicted with a sharp implement, and the perpetrator was an unusually large or small person. He was already dead when he got these wounds, or it was suicide. Well, it's kind of... You can't say any of that. The perpetrator was an unusually large or small person. Not necessarily. Could have just... Yeah, I'll just say this top one because it's not like it is me basically being a Sherlock genius here, but yeah, that's the only thing I can get out from it. They're inflicted with a sharp implement. They're like clean cuts, like from a knife or another sharp instrument. That is true, but why does this matter? That's a good question. Why does it matter? Dragons don't use knives, or we don't know that for sure. It couldn't have been Reza. Again, he's got a gun, but we don't know that for sure. It could only have been someone with hands. Well, if dragons don't use knives, then that would make sense. But then again, dragons can serve stuff and open doors and shit, so that's not going to make sense, is it? So, no, I'll just say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't think the murder weapon matters? Oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think any of these are just weird, really. I'll just say the hands one then, I suppose that makes sense. It could only have been done with someone with hands. That's right. Only those of us who walk on 2 legs have the proper dexterity to wield a knife effectively. Ah, I forgot about that. Most other dragons would probably just bite instead. Good call. Oh, okay, fair enough, I got lucky there, but yes, I remember. Some do, some don't. Of course, this rules out most of the bigger dragons and flyers. But then Reza still has his... What was it called again? You mean his gun? Yeah, if it was him, why would he kill someone with a knife rather than just use his gun on him? Yeah, I know, but the point being is there, Bryce, is, again, you don't know if Reza's managed to have a knife anyway. You can't just make assumptions like that. You don't know, do you? I suppose if he didn't want to make any noise, that would probably be the best one, I think. Because it makes him look cool, it's just stupid. I suppose you could argue it's like his signature. I suppose if he's going to go killing, you could say it's his signature. He lost his gun, is possible, but I highly doubt he'd have lost his gun at this point. I think he just didn't want to make any noise. He did not want to make any noise. After all, he ran away from Maverick trying to hide from the police. Something as loud as a gunshot would have easily given away his position and alerted others in the area. Right, that could be a good reason. By the way, which would you think was the lethal one? I guess it would be the one on his neck, because if you slit the throat, you're struggling to breathe and bleeding out, yeah, it would be the one on his neck. I think it was the one on his neck. That's right. If all the blood from it wasn't a giveaway, this is a stab wound. Yeah, thanks, Bryce. Patros and Git. Characterised by a rather small footprint, you can tell it's also the deepest one. Yeah, I suppose you can tell just from the picture, actually. It's got the dark... Where the cut is, it's got that darker red ingrained within it. And from the location, it's pretty obvious this must have done tremendous damage. What else do you see? A lot of blue blood. Well, that's a lot of blood. The blood splatter suggests that he was haemophiliac? No. He had AIDS? No. He died here? Yeah. I'd say he died here because it's not smeared or anything. He was haemophiliac. Well, haemophiliacs are just people. I believe haemophilia is just when your blood's plasma doesn't have platelets to clot the wound, or it has a very low count of it. So that doesn't really matter because he'd bleed anyway. I say he just died here. That makes sense. He died here. As had been a trail for us we could follow. The splatters also suggests where they fought. That's true. Unfortunately, it doesn't help with determining who the perpetrator was. Objection! Excuse me? Oh, sorry, I was playing that lawyer game on the 3DS and the DS. I forget what it's called, but I like saying OBJECTION! Sorry, I always just wanted to say that. Go on, please. What about the blood on his muzzle? You tell me. The blood on his muzzle suggests that. He's a vampire! He fought back. He had a bloody stake earlier. He has gum disease, or he bit his tongue during the fight. I don't know if this I'm guessing this dragon would stand on its hind legs because from its wingspan. Yeah, it's similar to the waitress. They said that earlier, didn't it? It had 2 wings, 2 feet. So yeah, I'm going to say he fought back. Well, I don't know, then why would he bite though? Nah, I'd say he fought back. It might be the perpetrator's blood. Yes, that's true. I expect forensics already took a sample of it, so it might actually help us determine who the perpetrator is. I think that's about everything. Investigation over! I is a G. I only got one thing wrong. For someone who says they haven't done this kind of thing before, that wasn't actually too bad. I know some recruits did a lot worse during their first time for sure. You know, I had someone who had to look over a murder scene like last week and they thought it was a fucking zombie, man. I mean, Jesus, that guy was fucking crazy. Hey, Chief, do you still need the witnesses here for anything? Sebastian approached with the dragon who had discovered the body earlier. Excuse me. I recognised her as Adine, the waitress from the cafe. She seemed distraught, which, given the situation, wasn't very surprising. I don't think so. Take her to her apartment, get a statement written up, and that should be that. Sure thing. Alright, miss, we're gonna have to take you to the department. You're under arrest. Of course. When she spots me, however, her composure brightened visibly. Oh, it's the human! Well, I'm a human. I have a name, you know. Go away, bitch. No, I'll just say why. Well, I'd call you by your name, but you never actually told me it. It's Neil Rambler, but the at the end is silent. What are you even doing here? Don't you work for our police now? It looks like it. Maybe I should be calling you officer then. I don't think I'm quite there yet. By the way, I didn't know you also did deliveries. Oh, I do a little bit of everything, really. Well, that's nice. I liked my, fish yesterday. You don't have to hide it. I know it's quite an acquired taste. To be fair, I wouldn't have recommended it to someone new like you. But you could always try something different. Here's our number if you don't want to come in, and we'll deliver anything we have to you. Well, thank you. Ellipses. Oh, sorry, I guess I should get going, you know, being arrested for the murder and all. Bye. I know she's not being arrested, I know it's a statement thing. Well, what do we do now? I suppose we'll head off too. Unless... Oh no. What is it? Oh, shit! We got a violent homicide, and of course nobody from the department tells me. I have to find out from a neighbour who wanted to ask me about it. Good thing rumours travel first, eh? Of course nobody told you. You're on sick leave. Mandatory sick leave, I might add. We're not here in any official capacity, you see. I merely enjoy a curative walk in the fresh air and happen to come across you by accident. What do you want? I don't want anything. I just find it interesting that no one tells me about this, but the prime suspect's body can mess with the investigation. I see how it is. I know what you're thinking, but don't jump to conclusions here. No need to jump to conclusions. I think the dead body we found says it all. You really have an attitude problem, you know. If you weren't on sick leave, you'd be suspended right now for attacking Neil Ramble yesterday. Do you have any idea what kind of repercussions this could have on us all? Me attack Neil Ramble? As far as I can see, I'm the only one who's injured here. Besides, I'm so sorry for apparently being the only one who's doing his damn job. Right, let's just all sit idly by while the suspect's on the loose and planning his next move. You know, whatever it was Reza that was talking about, he was going to tell me just before you showed up yesterday. I don't need to hear you of all people battling me about this. Well, that's your problem, punk. If anything, I want to find him just as much as you do. I don't think squaring up to Maverick is a good idea, Neo. Really, really not a good idea. Don't compare yourself to me. Your words mean nothing. Enough! You shouldn't even be here, so you better go now and get some rest before I have to take disciplinary action. You know what I'm talking about. The whips, the chains, the racks. I know you enjoyed Maverick, but this time it'll be torturous. Fine, but when we find him, you'll see I was right. If I have to prove it myself, so be it. Can he even just do his own investigation like that? Well, as long as he doesn't interfere with us, we can't really stop him from doing things in his own free time. Yeah, I see. I suspect he won't adhere to the standards of performing an unbiased investigation, though. He has already made up his mind. It's clear to me he won't be looking for facts just for evidence to support his own view in order to prove it to us or himself. Who knows? He's always been like that. Always something to prove. We have to be careful. He'll be looking for Reza soon enough. To be fair, I might be too if I was shot. Let's hope we find Reza before he does. At least that means someone will find him, right? Well, I'll be a bit sympathetic to Maverick. I guess if I was shot, I'd be a bit gun-ho. Yeah, that's exactly why he wouldn't be on the case if it was not sick leave. Don't worry, Reza will turn up eventually. I surely hope so. He's got the keys to the portal. All things considered, I had to admit that it remained a possibility that Maverick was right, but could the Reservoir we knew really be a murderer? Well, yeah, because he kind of hinted at back then, in the last video, that he didn't really know him that much at all anyway. You know what? If you think of anything that might help us with the investigation, or if you need anything else, just call me. Everybody wants me to call them. Fucking hell, man. I mean, look, I'm really popular here. Well, I will. Well, I think we're done here. Let's go. Bryce led me back to the apartment. I guess there wasn't really much for me to do in the meantime, as I was spared from the more arduous parts of the investigation. Maybe I should have been glad about this, though now I had an afternoon to fill. What should I do? Ooh. Right. I can... Ooh, right. Now, do I want to meet with Anna, or do I want to meet the other one? I forget her name. Aldi, I think it was. Or Aldry. Which girl do I like better? Aldry's kind of nice. I like her as a waitressy thing. But I think Anna's a bit more... Oh, I don't really know. Because I know, apparently Anna is quite competitive. She likes to win. I forget the conditions for the waitress girl. I actually generally forget. Shit. I might as well stick with Anna then, because that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. So we shall try and meet with Anna. It might be that we can't meet with her anyway. This is all purely academic, but we'll see. Let's meet with Anna. I mean, she's got our blood as well. We can see what she's doing with it. She told me to meet her here, so she's got to be around somewhere. The production facility had many different wings. Get it? Wings. Dragon wings. Sorry. Covering everything from research to processing, in addition to production. It was easy to get lost if you didn't know where you were going. I heard some commotion in the distance, and when I approached, I was surprised to see not only Anna, but Remy as well. Fucking bastard trying to nail in on my girl. They seemed to be in the middle of a heated conversation. I thought it would be inappropriate to approach now, so I remained several paces back, out of their field of vision, but still close enough to be able to make out their words. We've heard the rumours. So you come to me on the basis of rumours? Is that how you operate? What do you want from me? This is not the first time you've been in trouble, you know. They might not be so lenient with you this time. I don't know what you're talking about. I made sure to finish him off last time. I told you, I ate him all. Consider this a warning. You should proceed carefully, for your own good. Otherwise, it'll be me, my glasses and the red tie, and you don't like where that's going. If you wanted to threaten me, the least you could do is, least you could have done is to send someone more intimidating. Maybe larger than I am, but even I can see that you're just a big coward. You wouldn't dare put your dirty claws on me. I wouldn't. I'm here as a courtesy to you, not to threaten or intimidate. Do with that information whatever you wish. You know we'll be back. If they find anything, there will be consequences. Do you think I care? This attitude of yours is not helpful. Neither are you. Well, I've said what I came here to say. Good luck. Whatever. Damn, she's in a bit of trouble there. Remy turned to leave and started walking in my direction. I ducked behind a pillar, and when he went past, I wasn't sure if he'd seen me. Either way, he left, and I was safe to approach now. Hey, Anna. What was all that about? Oh, just put hey, Anna. Let's just be courteous. Hey, Anna. Hey, near Ramble. Oh, God. Well, that's it. That's it. Date over. She facepalmed me. Wait, how long have you been here? I saw everything. Not that it matters much anyway. This is just part of the course for me. I know, Remy. What's the problem? The nerve of that guy. He probably wouldn't be so uptight if it wasn't for that thing with his girlfriend a few years ago. Oh. But I don't care about him. It's his superiors that are the problem. They don't like me in the research I'm doing. They cite the traditions and values, claiming that those are what have kept us alive for so long. If anything were to change, it would obviously fracture the base to this society is built on. Completely misread that, sorry. Cause it all to collapse, tear apart families, and allow all hell to break loose. At least if you believe those old timers who keep repeating these phrases. And stop facepalming yourself, you're going to poke your eye out. And all that nonsense because of my research. Valuable research that could save lives, mind you. What kind of research are we talking about? I could show you sometime, but we're here to have fun, right? I thought you wanted to show me since you said we were both in biology and all that. Sure, but after doing this all day, you'll have to excuse me for not wanting to talk about it even more. Wasting my time with that guy is just another setback. Not that I don't already have more than enough work to do. Even right now, I'm supposed to be working overtime. Guess you can give me the tour some other time then. I will. Oh, and thanks for the blood, by the way. The results aren't in yet, but I'll let you know when they are. Oh, good. I'm just as curious about the results as you are. I hope my aids didn't come through. No, you aren't. I am. I'm way curiouser than you are. Curiouser? Is that even a word? Yeah. An author popularized it where I came from. Then I'm way more curiouser than you are. Not if I am the curious. Excuse me for a moment, but I must weep for the English language. At this rate, why didn't you just say you're the most curious assistant? I'm not sure. I'm not a linguist. Are you? Not exactly, but I have a way with words. My tongue is quite skilled, or so I hear. Ooh, your tongue's skilled, you say? Colour me intrigued. Some might even say, cunning. Okay, that is just... Yeah, well, thanks, game. Thanks for that. That was very degrading of Anna. Anna, don't stoop to that level. In any case, if you have to work overtime today, does that mean I should wait for you, or do you want me to come back some other time? Neither. I think my break should start right about now. Oh, what a lucky coincidence. It is, isn't it? So, where are we going? I don't know where you are going, but I think I need a coffee or 5. You can tag along if you like. It'd be my pleasure. We'll see if it'll be mine as well. I hope you brought your own money, though, because I'm not sharing. I didn't, but everything I purchased is taken care of by my ambassador status. Nice. Actually, that opens up some very interesting possibilities. See, I like Anna. She's mischievous. It might, but I'd rather not do anything too fishy. I don't want to raise any suspicion, you know? Good point. Well, let's go then. After you, milady. Yeah, she's a feisty dragon. I like her. There we are. Finally, I can't wait to get some coffee into my system. Oh, hello, Near Ramble. Nice to see you again. Hey, who's your companion? Can't you just take my order? I apologise. Let me try that again. Welcome to our establishment. My name's Adine. Adine, my apologies. And I'll be your waitress today. I got her name wrong earlier. What can I bring you to? I'll have a coffee. Thank you. And what can I bring the esteemed gentle person on the other side of the table? Bring me a beer? No. I don't want to get drunk on this. I'll take a coffee. No problem. I'll be right back. What's her problem? I'm here to order something, not to chit-chat with employees. I think she's just trying to be friendly. I guess I'm not a fan of friendly then. Here you go. Enjoy. Thanks, Adine. Slurpee coffee. My favourite. I totally needed that. So you work in that facility? And your point is? What's your job there? I mean, what do you do exactly? You're not making the T-virus! Oh, we do all kinds of things. The truth is, we just have all kinds of specialised machinery there, which is used by many different people for many different purposes. The building is owned and run by the council, who oversees the schedule. It's quite handy, since you can go from research to testing and even manufacturing all in the same complex. I started out as a researcher in biology, which is still my main job, but I've been there so long and learned the ins and outs of the building so well that eventually I was asked to take over some managerial duties. Sure, it means more work, but it also allows me to run a personal project every once in a while. Does that state your curiosity? I've only seen glimpses, but already sounds like a fascinating place. I'm not sure I'd go as far as to call it fascinating, but it surely does give me a lot of opportunities. Oh, I forgot to ask you, what you actually plan to do with my blood and the test results? The T-virus. What is this, an interrogation? Yeah, totally. You can call your lawyer if you like. No, I was just asking a question. Well, it's not the first. I'll finish my drink quietly then. Sorry, I'm just stressed from all the work lately. I'm not getting much respite between my regular work, overtime, personal projects and other disturbances like that Remy sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Well, what do you usually do during your free time? Having a good work-life balance is very important, you know. I love my job, I really do. Actually, I love it so much that even in my free time I still do things that have to do with biology. As I said, I've got the opportunity to do my own projects sometimes, so that's why I focus on when I get to. So that's what I focus on when I get the chance. It would be a shame to pass up an opportunity like that without using it. With the current influx of work, I rarely leave the facility if I'm not eating or sleeping. Even right now, I'm only on break and have to go back for another shift. Oh, maybe you should do something else for a change. Maybe, but right now that's not really an option. It would help if the council weren't constantly sending their lackeys to mess with me. So that wasn't the first time? No, I suppose I'm on their watch list or something. Why is that? It's a long story, and not one for a first date. So you're saying this is a date? No, I'm saying that even if it was a date, which would be more than whatever this is, it wouldn't be very appropriate. Stories about work aren't very romantic. It's always been about work with you. Come on, you're on break. Maybe we should do something to take your mind off it all for that once. Like what? I'm not sure. Do you have any other hobbies? Not really. Hey, waitress! How can I help you? Do you have anything here to entertain your guests? Any games or other distractions? Do you have a Nintendo Switch? I'm not sure. Let me go check. What exactly are you trying to do? Anything to get you to shut up about work already? Ooh, just wait and you'll see. The anticipation is killing me. Actually, no, it's boredom. Yeah, thanks for that, bitch. It's more for the kids, but we don't really have anything else. It's fine. Thank you. Have fun. A board game? Really? I know it's not Nixky's textile merchant, but I suppose it's better than nothing. I'm guessing that's a reference to another homebrew game or something. Textile merchant? Nitsky? It's a game. Never mind. Well, I'm not convinced that this will accomplish anything unless your goal is to make me regret this day. It seems to be a trivia game. Do you have any good general knowledge? Do you even know what kind of advanced knowledge I have to memorize and work with every single day? You bet I have good general knowledge. Certainly more than enough to beat a foreigner like you. If you're so confident, maybe we should make a bet. Oh, yeah, get in there, son. What'd you have in mind? Let's say if I win, I get to go on a real date with you. No fitting me in during your break, no complaining about everything, and no acting as if you're doing me a favour, especially because it was you who wanted me to meet in the first place. I thought it was me. And if I win, I'll have you come in sometime so I can run more tests on you. Oh, bugger. If that's what you want, so be it. Let's do this then. Since it was your idea, it's only fair that I start. So how does this work? It seems to be pretty simple. We take turns drawing cards and asking questions until we both asked a number that we agree on beforehand. Whoever gets more right in the end wins. How many questions shall that be then? How about 5? Let's make it 3. Not sure how long this will take, and my break won't be for too long either. Alright, go ahead then. I saw mischief in her eyes, her stare piercing, paired with the hint of an arrogant smirk that exposed her anticipation. She seemed confident that she would win and loved every second of it. So basically that's the game's way of saying, let her win. Slowly her hand went over the deck of cards and drew the topmost. So I've got to let her win, basically. That's fine. Who is cited as one of our most important historians, as we're expanding over 20 books credited with mapping out our entire history since the beginning of sentience? I think it's Otomo Izumi, so I'm just going to go with the top one. How could you even know something like that? You've only been here... Oh, bollocks! Did I pick the right one? I should have saved beforehand. Shit. I can't really go back. Well, if I fuck it up, and what I'll do is I'll go off screen, reload, and carry on back to here again. Oh, except that I've just quick saved, so I can't do that. Fuck! Alright. It was a lucky guess. Maybe. Let's see how you fare with your first question. Bring it. How far can you walk into the woods? Only until the middle. Anything after that, you're walking out of the woods again. You're right! That's a rather weird question, though. I suppose I read the right kind of books growing up. I know most of these trick questions. Let's see what the second question has in store for you, shall we? Alright, round 2. Sorry about that, I was meant to get it wrong, I just had a guess. Alright, if there are 5 apples, and you would take away 3, how many do you have? Oh, what was the question? What did the question say? You can go back over the dialogue and I can't remember which button it is. I'm going to say 1 because I know that's the wrong answer. No, you see, it's a trick question. This 3 is the correct answer. Yeah, I was just about to say that, yeah. Because that's the number you took away, yeah. That doesn't count. Nah, let's just move on. As you wish. Okay, here's your question. In which year of our timeline did we gain sentience? 0. The beginning of our timeline marks the event since we gained sentience. Right again! Have you played this game before? It's a children's game. Fabulous. This is a children's card game. These questions aren't really a challenge. I'll just go ahead and draw the next card so we can end this. This is good. I've got to admit, this game's actually quite cool in what it does. I'm liking this. I don't mind text-based adventures at all. They can be really good fun. This is actually quite funny. I'm liking this. An adventurer who values his life has to choose between 3 rooms to cross. Which of the following would be the safest? An adventurer who values his life has to choose between 3 rooms to cross. Which one of the following would be the safest? Number 1, a room filled with poisonous gas. Number 2, a room filled with 100 highly trained assassins. Or a room submerged in water filled with alligators that have not eaten in 8 months. Oh, it says none of these. Because it could be a trick question, couldn't it? I want to get the wrong answer though. Because the trouble is, the room filled with poisonous gas, you just hold your breath and go through it, you'll be fine. 100 highly trained assassins, you could sneak your way through it, but you're going to get killed. Or the room submerged in water filled with alligators, not the same way, you're going to die with that. Although they actually, no, I think that's safe, because alligators, don't alligators only attack on the surface? They don't attack underwater, do they? Or do they? Not sure. I'll say the room with poisonous gas. Nope. In fact, all the rooms are equally deadly. Alligators go up to 2 or 3 years without food, making room number 3 as deadly as the others. The other 2 rooms should not require any explanation. I don't even know what to say about that one. I do. I think you're about to lose. Looks like this is going to be the last question. Just get it over with already. Will you stop face-palming yourself? What is the approximate acceleration speed of a nose-diving flyer? I'll have to think about that one for a moment. Ellipses. I was just kidding. Still could have calculated that. Okay, here's the real question. What is the only substance known to be lighter in its solid form compared to its liquid state? Oh, that's easy. Yeah, water. That seems to be correct. Of course it is, duh. Just look at that. I won. Well, someone had to. This turned out to be more fun than I expected. Of course, the main reason for that is because I won, but still. I get it. You're one. You're great, etc., etc. When are you going to take more blood and organs from me? That is true. So when will I come in for the tests? Actually, I'm not sure if I'll get a spot for them in the facility anytime soon, but I'll be sure to let you know. I'm quite sure you will. But you know what? This wasn't bad after all. Maybe I'll let you have your date. Really? Sure. I mean, you didn't win, but I think you earned it nonetheless. Or maybe I'm just that nice. Okay. Well, it's up to you. Call me if you're interested. I'll let you know. I'm still going to collect my prize, though. I'm sure you'll make sure of that. You bet I will. In any case, I should get going now. My break is about to end. Bye! Oh, bless her. She's just she's very ambitious. She wants to get on with her work, and she's struggling with the work-life balance. I like her. She's a bit, you know, I like the fact that she's very... she is a bit rude and arrogant, but I know it's not, like, a personal thing. It's more just like, you know, she's just, I guess because she's so obsessed with work and all that, she rarely has time to socialise, and therefore she doesn't know how to do it. But that's always the fun bit then, because you can, you know, teach her, or tolerate her, you know, you can open up her social awareness. It's more fun, basically. Anyway, like a puzzle. I was not sure what I expected out of this encounter, but it certainly wasn't this. After all, proposing a proper date was my way of sticking it to her for being rude. Even though I lost the bet, she didn't seem to mind going on a date with me, as long as she got what she wanted. Whether I would follow up on that was up to me, though. Oh, we will. She's cute. I like her. Right, okay then. So, more free time. What should we do? We could meet with Remy, but I don't particularly want to. I don't want to start interfering. I think we should... Who's Lorem? I can't remember who Lorem is. Was he the agency guy? No, not the agency guy. The journalist guy? I don't know. Let's meet with Lorem. I can't remember who Lorem is. I cannot remember. I went to the bar Lorem had suggested as our meeting place. When I looked around, I saw Bryce sitting at a table, talking to someone I couldn't see. I lingered on him for a second, but soon spotted Lorem in the corner of my eye. There you are! Hey, Lorem! It's good to see you. I thought you might not show up. What, am I late? Not at all. I got here early. I'm kind of surprised you wanted to meet me here. Don't take this the wrong way, but are you even old enough to drink? Well, it's a cafe. It says cafe in the background, so... Oh. I know it's supposed to be a bar, but it does say cafe in the back there. What are you talking about? Oh, I see. I can assure you that I'm a fully grown adult. My species doesn't get much bigger than this. Speaking of which, are you fully grown yet? How big do humans usually get, and how do you stack up, comparatively speaking? Oh, and would you mind if I took some notes?
Before we get to that, you haven't even told me yet what exactly all this is for. Are you sure you're not a reporter?
If I was, Seb wouldn't let me meet you in the first place.
And I thought the uniform was just a clever disguise.
It's real, though. Sebastian knows I work for the local post office.
Excuse me, but this still doesn't really tell me anything about why I'm here. You're a postman who wants to interview me for what exactly?
Sorry, I guess I got ahead of myself here. Maybe a full introduction is in order, and after that you can still decide whether you want to go through with this or not. Well, sounds good to me. I recently graduated college with a degree in computing and moved in here with a good friend of mine. What, in the bar? Fair enough. This town doesn't exactly offer the best opportunities to put my degree to good use, though.
Then why move here in the first place?
Living in the city can be very expensive. I can always move later when I get a job there. I've got other plans right now, though. I'm working on a video game.
Oh! Sounds interesting.
Exactly. Video games and computers are just starting to catch up in places like this town. Making good content will be very important to give it a good first impression. And humans have always been part of our media. Books, movies, and now games. With you on our side, this could be an amazing opportunity.
Well...
Or maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. A little deceived by this. How am I deceived? No, I'm alright with this.
Why?
I don't know. You don't seem so thrilled about doing this anymore. Besides, your job must be really stressful and you're probably already in the spotlight all the time. And now to top it all off, you get some postmen harassing you for an interview. If you want to leave, I get that.
I'll just stay. I don't understand.
I'm alright.
Well, I'm already here and have nothing else to do, so let's make the most of this.
Oh, thank you.
At least I won't have to be so careful now. With a reporter, I'd have to worry about things like being misinterpreted or being taken out of context.
You should still be careful. What you tell me now will influence how your entire species will be represented in my game. Don't worry though, I'll treat this delicate matter with the required finesse.
I'm sure of it.
How should we do this? Let me think.
Why do you want to make this game in the first place?
I've always wanted to make a video game. I've had this idea for a while and it seems now is the right time to do it. It's almost as if you arrived at the perfect moment.
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you think my visit will overshadow your efforts? People may not be so interested in playing a game about humans anymore if they had a real one show up.
Good point, but the vast majority won't get to meet you personally anyway. If I say and I did model the humans in the game after you, people will flock to it to get a similar experience.
All right. So does that mean I'm going to be your game's mascot like Sonic?
So now I'm part of your viral marketing campaign?
As long as it's based on the truth, you have my support.
Fuck the truth. Let's just be the mascot. I guess you could say so.
Okay, but why focus on humans? What makes this so important?
If there's one thing that people here love, it's humans. It doesn't matter if they just see them in the media or believe in them as mythical creatures. For me, humans were always real. I just didn't know whether I'd ever get a chance to meet one myself. I guess I can cross that one off the bucket list. Now that we're here, I can tell you that no expense will be spared to make our portrayal of humans as accurate as possible.
You certainly seem passionate enough about this.
For good reason, I just love humans.
When you say it like that, it actually ends up sounding pretty weird. But then again, I want to bone Anna the dragon, so touche. Besides, what if I turn out to be a horrible person? What would you think about humans then?
It wouldn't change anything, because I wouldn't base my opinion on entire species and interactions with a single individual. That's pretty smart.
Then what is your current opinion of us based on?
Just the myths that we have and the previous portrayals of humans in our media. But I suppose that's why I'm here talking with you right now. I want the truth. All of it.
Telling you all of it might not be such a good idea.
Well, yeah, you did say earlier, Lorem, to be careful with what you say. I guess that would make take a lot more time than we have today.
Well, anyway, what's the actual game about? What do you do?
It's a community simulation game. It all starts with a player character moving into a procedurally generated community which is uninhabited by all kinds of mythical creatures, humans included.
Mythical creatures like humans? Mm-hmm.
Not only are the towns you move into unique, but the inhabitants are too. There are a variety of traits that get randomized, both in looks and personality. There are many things you can do, but it's very open-ended, and you can live your life there however you want to.
It sounds interesting, yeah.
It is! At least I hope others feel the same way about it.
What other mythical creatures are there besides humans?
I haven't worked that out yet, but humans alone give us a lot of material to work with.
How so?
The question of the mythical human can be tackled in a variety of ways. There are many different interpretations of what humans are like.
For example?
In general, the mythical human can be divided into three categories. Firstly, the human as a physical creature. Secondly, the human as a non-physical entity. And thirdly, the human as a spiritual being.
Let's start with the physical aspects.
Sure, since one of our myths tells us that humans who created us eventually turned into... Wait, what? Since one of our myths tells us that the human who created us eventually turned into a dragon. Oh. There is a lot of room for interpretation as to how similar humans actually are to dragons. I can see you don't have wings, but most of us are able to create fire in some way, or at least have a breath weapon. How about you?
I can rub 2 sticks together to make fire.
Not really. Having hands that are dexterous enough to do that is remarkable, though. It's a bit strange, though, because our myths also say that you gave that ability to us.
Interesting.
Maybe it's meant to be taken literally, meaning that while that ability was given to us, you lost it.
Or maybe we never had it in the first place. Humans are known to have created a lot of things out of nothing. After all, we only needed to discover how to create and use fire because we didn't have a natural ability to do so. We have a proverb that sums this up pretty well.
What is it?
Necessity is the mother of invention.
So a lack of natural abilities drove innovation forward. What an interesting thought.
Here's another thing. You may have many different images of humans, but in the end only one can be right. It's also possible that with what you've been led to believe about humans doesn't actually refer to us at all.
Are you implying that you aren't human?
No, I'm just saying that if you really had been in contact with humans before, as your myths imply, they would need to belong to the same species as me and thus be very similar to myself. If they aren't, then either they weren't humans at all or have very different origins.
So you say there's a possibility that our humans and your humans may be something different altogether? Well, I guess that would make sense considering how we've just jumped through an alternative dimension or another world. It may not be another dimension, like another world, we'll call it then. Why couldn't there be another world that jumped into this one that had creatures called humans but weren't humans like us? You just open up that can of worms and you get fucking wasted, don't you? I suppose you're alright in the way that our images of humans are very inconsistent. They certainly can't all be humans in the way that we would refer to a single species. The name would probably be reserved for yours. And if we haven't even touched on the other 2 categories of humans.
What did you call them again?
Non-physical human entities and spiritual humans.
What's the difference?
Honestly, the definitions get a bit muddled here. Going by conventional belief, a ghost could be a human who has died and thus changed into a different form. We would call this a spiritual human. An angel, on the other hand, would be classified as a non-physical entity.
What do you know about angels?
Angels basically look like humans with wings. Their existence in ancient scripts was used to lend some credence to the theories about humans having become dragons.
Because of the wings?
Exactly.
But some of your dragon species don't have wings either.
Yes, as I said, once you start delving into that kind of stuff, it all becomes very convoluted.
When we met, you also told me something about a 4-headed human.
Right. With that, we'd go into the realm of creatures that just don't make much sense at all. Having 4 heads just seems unlikely from an evolutionary perspective. Might not really matter if we're talking about a non-physical entity or a spiritual being, though.
So in the end, you have a lot of different ideas whose only connection to each other is that you use the word human to describe them in some way.
And they share at least some basic characteristics. You fit those as well, by the way.
What are they?
You certainly are not a reptile like us, but you don't look like a conventional mammal either.
But we are mammals, though.
Yes, but you're so different from other mammals, we know that. Ultimately, you are quite unique. We don't know any other sentient mammals.
We've got a good point there, I'll give you that. Strangely enough, we have plenty of human-like creatures in our mythologies as well.
Oh, do tell!
You've already mentioned ghosts, but some other ones include dwarves, giants, fairies, and blemmies.
The fuck is a blemmy? I don't know what a blemmy is. I guess it's a real thing, it's just something I've never come across before. Or I may have come across it, just didn't know they were called that, so no idea. Oh well. I think I've heard most of this before, but what is a blemmies? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Go on then. Thank you, Lorem.
Essentially, a blemmies is a human without a head.
What? A human without a head? Fair enough.
A human without a head?
How does that work? How do they eat?
Instead of a head, they just have all their facial features on their chest.
Okay, I've never heard of that before. That's a rather weird mental image.
There's also a lot of half creatures that share some characteristic with humans and other animals.
Like merhumans?
Sure. Lastly, there are creatures that are said to be able to shapeshift into human form. Strangely enough, some of our dragon myths said they could shapeshift into humans, or that certain countries' royalty are descended from dragons.
That would imply that they are genetically incompatible with humans.
I guess so.
Sounds rather outlandish if you ask me. We certainly can't shapeshift like that.
Are you sure?
To be fair, I've never tried. Hang on. Ellipses. Did it work?
Nope, still a dragon.
Aww. Anyway, how come you know so much about myths?
Well, all part of being an ambassador. Not only did I learn about dragon myths in order to compare them to what you like, but I also studied myths about creatures that are similar to humans so I could find out how similar they were to yours.
Well, you're doing an excellent job so far, and it's bound to help me a lot with my game as well.
You're gonna put all that into the game?
Let's just say it gives me some excellent material to work with.
I thought you wanted me to give an accurate portrayal of humans, not just collect myths.
One species will certainly be modelled after you, but that doesn't mean we can't introduce some variety with the others. People will love it if it also brings some of the more unusual myths to life.
Well, yeah, I get that, I see.
But since we also want each of the normal human characters to be unique, I'd like to know how much variety there really is within your species. I've seen Reza before, so comparing him to you already gives me a bit of an idea, but how far do these differences go exactly? When we arrived here, you asked me if I was old enough to drink. That leads me to believe that your average human must be a lot taller.
Well, that's true. You could say Reza would be about average for an adult. Not that it would be impossible to get a good deal bigger than him or even smaller than you, but those cases are rather rare and usually the result of medical conditions.
I see. What about colours? Are there any humans who are blue like me?
Not really, no. There's a certain spectrum of skin colours that can be lighter or darker, but so far I've seen a lot more variety in the dragons here. We do have quite a number of different eye colours, though.
Interesting.
As for things that aren't immediately visible, we also have different blood types, but I assume you know about that.
We certainly have those as well.
Some people even believe your blood type influences your personality.
That, on the other hand, is news to me.
Anything else you want to know?
Oh, we've already got so much, I'll have to think about it and see if we can work on all this into the game.
Have you worked on any other games before?
Sorry about skipping that bit there. I worked on a few small projects during the course of my studies and also interned at a studio before. This is on a completely different level, though.
How so?
It's my game, so I'm the one calling the shots here. It's a very different thing to be just making a few graphics when you're part of a bigger team, sure.
I see. How long exactly have we been working on this?
Phew! Must be several months now. I've got everything planned out and a lot of the groundwork has already been done. The most difficult thing are the characters themselves and to make sure all of the details are accurate.
Oh, of course. Have you shown the game to other people yet?
Sure, feedback's a very important part of the development process, so I regularly get ideas and opinions from others. I even made a website to do this.
And what do they say?
All kinds of things, really. Sometimes it's hard to decide which ones have a good point and which ones can be disagreed. Or disregarded, sorry. Overall, it seems that there are many people who are looking forward to playing my game, though.
Well, how many are we talking about?
I don't know exactly. The count on my website only tracks the number of visits, so I don't know how many different people there are.
Well, what if it doesn't work out?
Oh, Neo, don't be such a negative duff. Well, what do you mean?
Well, you're investing a certain amount of time and money into making the game. Ideally, you want to make you would make back your investment and hopefully get some profit on top of that.
If the goal is to make money, sure. However, I just want to try my hand at doing something like this. If some people are going to enjoy the end result, that's great. Don't forget that I also have made something that I can put on my resume. At the very least, it'll be a good learning experience.
Ooh, with that attitude, I suppose you really don't have anything to lose.
I can always look for another job, and maybe I'll end up working at a game studio, but I think once I've started doing something like that, I might not get this opportunity again.
So it's now or never, huh?
In a nutshell, yes.
That all works out with your career job?
Sure. I can support myself this way, and I'm not really under any pressure, since I don't have any deadlines to keep.
Fair enough. Ooh, deadlines are a good way to ensure something gets done, though.
I don't really want to put a damper on it, though. That is a good point, though. I don't know whether to discipline them or not, because I mean, if I say the bottom one, I kind of get the point of deadlines, and they are important. I'm going to say the deadlines. I'm not going to. If I do, be a bit negative here. I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to say, well, you know what you're doing, but don't forget deadlines, though. Deadlines are a good way to get things done, though. Well, you're right about that. It's something where balance is important, I think. I set deadlines for myself, but I don't have to worry about the project breaking down if I don't meet certain milestones at a certain time.
Well, what kind of tools are you using to make it? If I consider what some of your species look like, I'm going to have a hard time imagining how the bigger ones could program a game.
Well, we do have devices tailored to each individual species. I can't deny that my dexterous hands make it a lot easier compared to some others. One downside is I have to keep my nails short, or else using the keyboard gets a bit cumbersome.
I imagine you'd have to be careful with those while working as a courier anyway.
You're right about that. One wrong move and you suddenly shredded the letter you were just about to hand to someone.
That sounds unpleasant.
Luckily, that kind of thing doesn't really happen to me anymore. Not only because of the short nails, but once you've worked there for a while, you just learn to be more careful. It's a bit sad not to have them as a natural letter opener anymore, though.
But why don't you just send emails?
Oh yeah, because he just said in their computers and video games when it just starts coming. My bad. And it's not just from me. Some people ask me to open their letters for them, since doing that on their own can be difficult for some of the less dexterous and older ones.
Have you been working as a courier for long?
I just got the job a few months ago, but I had a part-time summer job at the post office when I was growing up. My species is perfectly suited for the job, so they were glad to have me on board.
Oh really?
course, being able to fly is a big plus. My size means I can't deliver any big packages, but I often get assigned to urgent letters that have to be delivered as soon as possible. But it's getting late. Maybe we should leave it for that for today.
Yeah, I should probably head back to my apartment before it gets too dark. I get scared in the dark.
I got more than enough material to work with. Thanks a lot.
Don't worry about it. I'll just consider it a public service.
Honestly, I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity, especially after nearly getting denied by Sebastian when I met you.
Just make the best of it.
I certainly will.
I really have to get going now, so maybe I'll see you some other time.
Sure, have a good night.
Take care. Bye, dragon.
Uh-oh. Oh. Chapter 2. Oh. Okay. Again, very, what's the word for intimidating? That looked like, Remy there, I think. Was it Remy? No, bollock. Reza, that's it. They have to have similar names, don't they? For fuck's sake. Another day, another morning. And that's where I'm going to end it for today. So can I say thank you very much for watching this if you have done. Yeah, we went on a date with Anna. And yeah, it could have been better. But then again, she's stressed. She knows work. I'm going to keep going with Anna. I quite like her. And yeah, we did meet with Lorem. And I think that was a good thing too. I enjoyed that. It was very, very fun. So yeah, next time then. It's the next day. It's another morning. We'll see where we go from here. So I can say thank you very much for watching this if you have done. All I can say is take it easy. Have a good one. Hope you're all well. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.